I remember the exact moment when I got my first $10,000 check for one video. And at the time, my 9-to-5 paycheck was only $2,000 every 2 weeks. And now for one video deal, I had 5 paychecks. And I went back to work the next morning. I know you're thinking, why? And in this video today, I'm gonna show you guys what I took from my job, right? My 9-to-5 job. I took all the resources, all the knowledge, and I applied that to my content creation side hustle. And low-key, it's been paying off. So sit back because I'm gonna break it down into 3 clear, simple steps that you can start implementing today. The number one complaint I hear from creators who are still at their 9-to-5 is, I don't have enough time. And they're absolutely right, but they're solving for the wrong problem. The issue isn't time, instead it's the absence of a clear process. At my job, before any project launches, we run something called a brief. You sit down and answer a set of questions before a single thing gets made. Who's the audience? What's the goal? When do I need to ship it? What does success actually look like? As you can tell, my job has an entire process for when they make a product. And then I sat back to myself and asked myself like, yo, what's my process when I make a video? Am I thinking about the end user? Am I thinking about the content or who's watching it? And I realized I wasn't. So low-key, well, high-key, I needed my own process. So now, before every time I film, I run my own content brief. What's the video about? Who am I talking to? What do I want them to do after they watch it? Is the hook strong enough? Do I have a real-life example of the concept I'm trying to illustrate? And now that one shift alone allows me to not only produce high-quality content, but do it on a consistent basis. I legit have a formula that I have to execute each time when I record a video, and guess what? It makes the entire process easy, but I'm also consistent. Remember, my time is limited and your time is also probably limited. And the goal is never, ever to work more hours, but instead figure out how are you gonna make the most of the time that you have. And the easiest way to do that is once you bring up this camera or once you write that script, you know exactly what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and the type of success or results that you're expecting. Whether you're a creator or you're selling physical goods, I want you to think of a clear process that you can implement, whether it's every month, every week, every quarter. Find something that's easy to repeat just so you can streamline your business efforts so you can save time. Because remember, as someone with a full-time job and doing a side hustle, your time is super limited. So having a clear step-by-step process will save you so much time and headache. Let's talk money, because this is where most side hustle creators get caught in a trap. When I started out as a content creator, my income was not consistent. Brands operate on net 30, which means when you land a deal, you might not see that money until 30 days or more after you deliver. Some months I have a lot of brand deals, and other months it's low-key a ghost town and no brand is reaching out to me. And based off that inconsistent income, this is where your 9-to-5 comes in clutch, because that's a source of consistent income. One day I was just chilling and I was thinking like, yo, how am I gonna make this work, right? Like, how do even startups make their companies work? And I realized startups, they get funding from different investors. And that's what it was. I realized I needed my own investor. And since it's hard to find someone to pour their money into my content creation, I was like, hey, let me just use the money that I make from my 9-to-5 job. And now before you say anything, let me just break down the math for you real quick. For me personally, it only took 2 or 3 paychecks to invest in a solid camera, proper lighting, and a basic setup. After that, everything else was profit. My job should cover my life expenses, but also I should use any extra money I get, right? Instead of saving it or investing in stocks, pour that money back into myself, back into my business. And now once I pour that money back to myself, I got my equipment. Then I started to get the ball rolling. I started editing, scripting, filming, doing all the things I needed to figure out how to generate money from content creation. And now once I started making money from my content, remember what I said earlier, brand deals, they're not consistent and they take forever to pay. And as a result, I realized like, hey, for this to be an actual business, I need to find different income streams within content creation. So let me show you some other income levers that I have leveraged. So for example, I have UGC, which is known as user generated content, created a budgeting app through Monyon, basically where I help people who have multiple income streams budget their money. And also I do freelance video editing and filming for clients. I no longer rely on brand deals waiting to get paid from them, because I now have 3 additional income streams that I can leverage outside of those brand deals. Whatever your business is, I always want you to think, what's another income stream that I can leverage? One of my friends, he owns a mechanic shop and his main income from it is of course services. But I told him like, hey, How about you leverage your own custom car kit that you can sell to people who show up for the first time? Again, it might be additional small revenue, but remember, it's still additional revenue coming in, which is really important when you're starting out with your side hustle or your side business. A lot of times when I do these videos, I always want to make sure I'm giving you guys practical advice, but at the same time, you need to go out there and figure it out yourself. One thing you can do is legit go to AI, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, and I want you to input this prompt and see what comes up for your side hustle. Remember, your 9 to 5 is not a limitation, it's actually your biggest investor. I want you to think about your favorite brand right now. Whatever your current favorite product, trend, whatever it is, right? That did not happen yesterday or overnight. That was planned 2 or 3 years ago. And the reason I know that is because a lot of big corporations, they don't operate on vibes or what we should do next, but instead they operate off of a roadmap. I've watched my company and other companies build yearly and even quarterly roadmaps, and I thought to myself, why am I not doing this for my business? What I want you to remember, right, is when you see Amazon, Nike, Apple, they come out with these big things, they didn't plan this yesterday. They were doing this 2 or 3 years ago. And so to myself, I had to figure out like, okay, why am I just making a video today and posting it tomorrow? How about I start to have a long-term vision and figure out, hey, what is my story this quarter or this year? What's the type of content I want to focus on and then execute it? So I sat down and mapped out a quarterly content roadmap. What topics I'm covering, what themes make sense for the season, what's building towards a long-term goal. That roadmap is the only reason I have breathing room when it comes to creating content. So the shift that I personally had to make, right, was low-key just take a second back or step back really and be like, yo, let me not post content for the next 3-4 weeks. And that hurt my ego a little bit because I'm like, damn, I want to show up for my followers and educate people. But at the same time, I realized like, yo, take time off, make content. And now I have a whole couple weeks, I think almost 3 to 4 weeks worth of content lined up. And so now I don't have to rush or feel pressured about making videos, and I can sit with my thoughts and think clearly about what's that vision, what's that piece of content, what's that next video or whatever that I want to put out there in the world. I know this sounds so minor and it took me a minute to really understand the power of this, but my mind is so clear now. Like I don't have fog. Like before I'd wake up every morning and be like, what's the next thing I gotta do? What's the next video? What's the next piece of content? What's the next brand deal? All that stuff's done. The past 3-4 weeks, that's all set. Now I can take time and think like, all right, what's this bigger vision I want to execute on? And when it comes to your business, that's how you should be thinking. You always want to have a bigger long-term goal vision because your job as the founder or as the person in charge of your business, you need to be thinking like, hey, how am I going to grow this business? How am I going to sustain it? And the only way to do that is by always thinking long-term. I want to just show y'all something real quick, right? This is how much it is for me when it comes to a brand deal, right? Can you see it? Hold on. There we go. $8,000. Now, let me show you my paycheck, right? Paycheck from my job. Focus it up a bit more. Right there. It's around $2,000. And the point I want to tell you guys is those are 2 different streams of incomes and they have 2 different jobs. Those $2,000 mean the world to me from my 9 to 5 job. That helps me stay sane, stay on track because that funds this content creation. It makes sure I have consistent cash flow coming in. And when I get those big brand deals from my content, like an 8K deal, then I use that money to whether I want to pour it back into the business or put it in stocks and just use it as an investment. Again, your 9 to 5 is never holding you back. Your 9 to 5, you need to treat it like a resource. Learn what they're doing. Take the money from that 9 to 5 and apply it to your content or just your side hustle in general. The goal of this video was just to show you guys that you can do both. You can work a 9 to 5 job and focus on your side hustle. A lot of people out there are going to tell you, yo, just quit your job, do your side hustle, do it full-time. The moment you do that, your side hustle stops becoming a passion project, a source of joy, but instead of full-time business. And now you have all this pressure, this anxiety, this worry on making it work and living your life. Remember, treat your 9 to 5 like your biggest investor. You can learn from it. You can use money from it to fund your side hustle. And lastly, you can build so many connections from your 9 to 5 that'll help you way down the road when it comes to your side hustle. So remember, find a way to make both work. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been paying off. And don't get me wrong, some nights I'm low-key spazzing out and other nights I'm enjoying it. Because 1, I'm getting 2 sources of income, high income that I can leverage while I'm young. Remember, live off one, invest the other. That's what most athletes do. They live off one income and they invest all those endorsement deals. And again, I'm not making as much money as they are, but the whole point is that you can leverage both. And now for any of you that are content creators, I'm gonna leave all these resources and tips and tricks in the description just because like this is what I use, so low-key y'all can use it too when it comes to creating your videos, scripting, budgeting, dealing with your finances, anything. Just let me know in the comments, but I'll also have it in the description. And as always, love your wallet because it'll love you back. Oh, and hold on. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well. I can't forget that. But again, love your wallet because it'll love you back. Peace.